It's Jeremy!
And George!
How the Hales are you?
Tell us.
Yeah, we want to know.
How the hells are you?
Write in the comments, let us know. But we also need to know your questions so that we can tackle them, because that's what we're all about. We are here to educate you, to equip you, and encourage you in your side hustle, specifically with the storage units, but any other passive income stream you have as well. So, George, we had a crazy weekend. We had an impromptu auction even on Saturday. How was that?
I didn't even know about it. I woke up and he told me two hours before.
Not only telling her, I begged her, can we please go? And she said yes. So that was great. And we had a good time. And I don't know about you, I can't wait till Tuesday to go unbox that thing and see what's in there.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we have planned for that unit is another video. We are going to take a item from that unit from the very beginning of purchase, the auction, to the very end of selling, so you can see the lifespan of that unit from purchase, sold, shipped. And so
beginning, middle, end.
There you go.
Boom.
Going to be a great video. We're excited about that. Well, let's jump into some housekeeping items, and then we got to get into the questions, okay? Because we only got an hour. Every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Housekeeping items. Number one, some of our subscribers continue to tell us that YouTube is unsubscribing them from the channel. So what we do know is YouTube has purged or cleaned up what they consider to be spam accounts. So they let content creators such as ourselves, they let us know that, hey, your subscriber base may go down because we're trying to eliminate spam accounts. Your account might have been identified as a spam account incorrectly. All you want to do is what, George?
Why do you think their accounts are spammed?
I'm not a YouTube personnel-ish person. I don't know anything about that.
My guess, what would your best guess be?
Best guess, why would they be considered spam? I still don't know.
My best guess, probably because there are no playlists.
Oh, that would probably, yeah.
It's just a blank.
No liked videos. So like every single one of the videos, put us in your playlist, and you probably should be okay there. But if they want to resubscribe, how do they resubscribe, and how do they get notifications?
If it happens to you and you accidentally get unsubscribed from our channel, you definitely just want to search us by What the Hales, subscribe. A little bell will pop up at the same time. You want to click that bell, and it gives you a notification every time a new video gets posted on YouTube.
And so every video that pops up, you'll be ready to see. Now, we've got a really, really surprise, awesome video coming for you tomorrow night. And we're not going to spill any of the secrets. This is going to be like a mystery unboxing, but this is going to be the mystery video. Guarantee you, you're going to love it and can't wait. I will tell you that this is the only tip, or the only...
kind of giving them a spoiler alert.
Okay, spoiler alert. I have to travel 5.5 hours tomorrow morning for this, and then 5.5 hours back tomorrow night. So looking forward to it, and then getting that video up for you. Then we have the unboxing on Tuesday. Wednesday, we got another little surprise for you. So that ought to be a ton of fun. We want to let you know that we do have a moderator on the channel. Why don't you tell us about the moderator, George?
Our moderator is Meerkat. So if you have any questions, Meerkat's going to try and answer the questions that she knows the answer to, especially the questions that come in that are the exact same questions that people ask us that haven't attended any previous live Q&A.
Like, when are Jeremy and George going to get married? Will you live stream your wedding? Things along those lines. Meerkat can handle that, right?
Yes.
All right, thanks, Meerkat. Meerkat, we appreciate all your help and increasing the quality of the live Q&A. And the other thing that's going to increase the quality, we got our brand new camera that we don't have any clue how to use yet. But we're excited to get it out and to use it. One of the things that it has is stabilization features, and it has tracking. So we can just put it on George, and it'll just track George the entire time. It moves itself. It eliminates the need for a cameraman, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
So we can't wait to get that out and increase the quality too. And the other thing that will increase the quality in the videos as we all watch and we all grow together is time stamping videos. Okay? Now what I mean by that, if you've never heard of time stamping before, it may be a new term to you. definitely was to us at some point. That means when you see an item in the video, and we'll use the example that I always use, if you see this pen, and you go, Jeremy, I know what that pen is. It's a Bic pen. Well, you may put just a comment and go Bic pen, and I have no, or you might just go Bic, okay? Careful that you just say Bic, not one of those naughty words, okay? And you may just say Bic, and I have no idea what you mean. I might have just thought you misspelled. You were trying to call me something naughty, and I was just like, I can't believe these people. But if you timestamp, and what I mean by that, if the pen shows up at 5 minutes, 10 seconds in the video, you would type 5:, and it has to be a colon, not a period, not a semicolon, 5:, and then 10. That means 5 minutes, 10 seconds, just like you would see on the digital clock. And then we can all click on it. It gives us a link right to that spot in the video. And then we all know what you were talking about in regards to the Bic, instead of thinking that you were calling me a nice guy. So,
and the way to get that timestamp, all you have to do is just pause the video. And on the left hand, on the bottom left of the screen, it'll tell you exactly where you're at on the video. The bottom right will tell you the entire length of the video. So you want to look at what the timestamp is on the left side of the video, and then you're going to put it in your comment section if you're referring to an item or if you're interested in buying something.
So not only do we want to know what items that you find in the actual video, but we love getting love from you. So we got a piece of mail. We got our second piece of mail in the P.O. box. George has it right here. She's ready to open it.
I'm going to use my extra large envelope opener.
Kind of looks like a sword.
It's from Drew Harmer, all the way from Oregon.
You guys remember the Oregon Trail? The Oregon Trail. Oh, here we go. And
it's a check.
It's money. It's all about the money. Okay. Drew actually purchased an item that he saw in one of the videos. It was a belt buckle, not bucket. And so it was the Smucker's belt buckle. Now, normally when you're selling to people, you never, ever, ever want to accept a cash, okay? Or excuse me, a check.
Check.
Thank you, George. Always accept cash. Never accept a check, because a check can bounce. So, for example, this check could bounce. My bank's going to charge me $25 if it bounces. Now, that's not to say Drew's check is going to bounce. Drew and I worked out something on the side to where we were okay with that payment style. But when you're selling, the encouragement is to always work with cash or PayPal, okay? And that way you don't have an issue of bouncing checks and having to find out where that person is and go after them, and then you've got bank fees and all of that. So thanks, Drew. We appreciate it, and we will have your belt buckle, not bucket, buckle in the mail here this week, okay? So, George, do we have any success stories from our subscribers?
We do, and we love getting success stories.
Whoa, I'm not the only one saying the wrong words tonight.
That's success stories. It's a tongue twister. Say it 5 times fast. Success story,
success story, success story, success story, success story, success story, success story.
I can't do that.
There we go.
We do love getting success stories. It just shows that what we're doing, what we're putting out there for you guys is working, and that other people are being successful.
You can do it
with what we're sharing with you. So if we could do it, you guys can certainly do it. And again, I apologize in advance if I butcher your name. The first success story is from Xtronics_official. His dad and himself bought a storage unit for €5, so they must be out.
They're overseas, yeah.
Overseas, and they found a $100 euro bill.
So €100, so an investment of €5, return on the investment €95. Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Great job.
Rodney said, Jeremy and George, I have been watching your videos and just bought a couple lockers from storagetreasures.com. I love your videos. They're really interesting and always learning something new. I just subscribed and I can't wait for your next video. I'm retired and I am doing this to keep moving and earn a little extra cash. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little extra cash.
Congratulations, Rodney. Keep it up and let us know how it goes.
Gregory Rapier says, Happy New Year from my family to yours. I just bought my first unit for $390. Got complete 3 box tools, box rollaways.
Toolboxes, yeah.
They're for sale right now for $1,000, filled with tools plus tools mixed all over.
Wow.
Also a small Buzz box welder sold already for $50. Also a brand new in the sealed box 49-inch Sony HD TV.
Sweet.
Up for sale right now for $650. Almost new Sealy top model King mattress, King box spring. They have a lot of blankets and bed spreads and pillows for it too. Speakers for over 15 good brands and in good shape. Some missing covers. 3 stereos, Pioneers, 2 nice. They don't look new, but they are nice. Lots of other stuff, some clothes, a Carhartt jacket, Air Jordans, and lots of women's shoes and boots. A lot of clothes to be donated.
This sounds like a unit, Gregory, that I should have bought.
Yeah, it's a great unit for your first unit, and for $390, that's great.
Wow.
So congratulations on that.
You got one more?
One more success story. Jerry and Patty said, my husband and I are trying to get into the storage unit auction world. We have only bought one so far. We have already made our money back on the unit. It's very exciting. We know very little about eBay. Thank you.
Wait, now hold
We're
a second.
excited for you.
Jerry and Patty bought their first unit, made their money back already without eBay. And eBay is where the bulk of the money comes from. Can you imagine if they had all the knowledge of eBay, where they would be at in their profit margin right now? And stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, because we're going to continue to teach you eBay and make videos to help you in your eBay pursuit. But as we continue to move forward, we've got the find of the week, George.
Yes.
You ready?
Tell us what the find of the week is.
The find of the week actually did not come from a storage unit, believe it or not. So there is a ministry locally that I work with and volunteer with quite often. And one of the things that they are attempting to do is open a thrift store to help generate income to then feed income into their ministries. And they do food, and they do clothing, and it just goes on and on and on how they help the community. So I had the opportunity, because of the experience with actual thrift stores, to purchase the very first item. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Here we go. Now, do I dare tell you how much I purchased it for?
You can share that if you feel comfortable.
$200.
Nice.
That's what. Nice. $200. I bought a Fender guitar with a hard shell case. Just makes me want to sing. Should we do a little song?
Sing?
Do you think the viewers are okay with that?
I don't know.
But it's a beautiful guitar. Are you sure? What if it's about you? Like, sha la 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 dee da.
La la la.
Sha la 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 dee da. My brown-eyed girl. Her name is George. Her name is George. Her name is George.
Thank you.
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Thank you for that.
So there is the find of the week. It's a Fender guitar, and that transitions us into our tip of the week. So one of the issues that you may come across when you first actually start into this, what do you think one of the issues is, George? You always know this.
Start into the storage.
You're starting into storage.
Yeah.
What's something people may not have a lot of? Money. Okay. But the other thing they may not have a lot of is
knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay. What else would they maybe not have a lot of?
Space.
Space. Look at that. You got it. Pound it. Mm-hmm. Space. She knew it already. She's just playing with you. She's a tease. Trust me. So
my memory's going bad.
You may not have a lot of space. So George, what's one of the things that you would do if you didn't have a lot of space and you were buying your first unit? What would you do?
One of the options that I'm aware of is that you can ask the storage unit facility if you can rent the storage unit locker for a month. And that way it gives you time to sort through the unit, figure out what you want to sell, figure out what you're going to donate, figure out what's going to be garbage. And then I am aware that you can also sell things out of that unit.
So that's exactly what you would end up doing. If you don't have space, go ahead and purchase it, because the profit from that unit can pay for that month's worth of rent as you sort, as you sell, and as you continue to make a little bit of a side hustle. So that's a great thing that you can do, especially in the colder months when you may not want to transport things back and forth. And that way you got more space. Hey, it's what the business does. They sell space. They're going to be okay if you rent it for a month.
Mm-hmm.
All right, George, we've got our first question of the evening. Subscriber, this is getting out of hand. Subscriber, got to get me a George. She's taken, okay? Got to get me a George wants to know, when your friends, this would be you, George. Okay. When your friends and family ask what Jeremy does for a living, how do you respond?
Some questions are rhetorical, and that would be one of them.
So she doesn't respond.
It's kind of hard to explain. A lot of people don't understand that what a YouTube vlogger is, what it entails. But in a nutcase, I just tell him that he's in the resale business, and then I ask them if they're familiar with storage unit wars, and a lot of them are like, yeah, kind of. So I tell him that that's what he does, and then he also vlogs about it on YouTube. What
did I tell you when we first met and you asked what I do for a living?
You told me you were unemployed.
There you go. There you go.
He's unemployed yet self-employed.
So, funny story, when I was growing up as a little kid, my dad actually told me, because I hold my pen like this, I don't do it standard.
This is how normal people hold their
normal people right there. This is how I hold my pen. My dad.
Turn your hand this way so they can see.
I hold my pen like this. So
like
my dad told me.
He holds it like a chopstick.
I would never get hired. I would never be employed because I held my pen like this.
And he was right.
He was right. I'm unemployed. Go figure. You got me there, Dad. All right, George. What do we got as far as questions? Let's run right into it, okay?
Ty Spencer wants to know. Well, actually, someone asked if the camera that we're using was the camera that we found.
The camera that we're using is not the camera that we found in the unit on Saturday. If you saw the video from Saturday, that camera was an old VHS camera. That's what we would call a joke, okay? Now, I understand not everybody actually relates with our sarcasm, which this one is the sarcastic one. If you want to talk about sarcasm, it's her. But that was a joke. We are actually on our laptop. We are hardwired into fiber optic cable right now. The highest speed fiber optic cable you potentially could have anywhere at any place and point in time.
And hopefully that makes the picture a little bit more clearer, and that you can hear us, because we were having technical difficulties a couple weeks ago. So hopefully that's improved that.
Now, if you were asking about the camera here, this camera was actually recommended to us by another YouTube subscriber, and we went for it, and we can't wait to use it.
Ty Spencer asked, do you still have that job available?
Ty, the job is still available. We have not found the right person for the right fit. And honestly, it gets very difficult to actually even go through resumes, because right now, working around the clock. You may not believe it, but YouTube, what you see when you get this canned package video of 25 minutes or 30 minutes, probably 16 hours goes into creating that in my day. And so at the end of that, then I have YouTube responses and replies and comments and all of that. I'm about a day and a half behind even keeping up with replying to all your comments right now. So interacting with all of you is huge, and it puts other things on the back burner. Oh, that one's a good one. I can answer that.
I can answer
that.
Okay.
Yep.
Peter DeBartolo asks, What is the meaning of life?
Peter Bartolo. The good news is I know the answer, okay? The bad news is you may not accept it. But the meaning of life truly is this: to glorify God. Pure and simple. Your Creator created you to have a relationship with Him and to bring Him glory. That is the meaning of my life, and that should be the meaning of everybody's life. There you have it.
Rob Horskins wants to know, do you use more than one eBay account? And if so, why?
That's a good idea.
We both have our own separate eBay account.
So why don't you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, Jeremy has already had his eBay account for years now, way before him and I met. I've never sold anything on eBay until I met him and he taught me. So I've been on eBay for maybe a month and a half now. All of the What the Hales merch is available on my eBay. And
your eBay name is?
I changed it to, you can use the eBay username is go to Hales. Hales.
Hales. And then I created an eBay store for you YouTubers called What the Hales.
Hales. So anything that's on my eBay account, all of the proceeds go towards my college loan debt. The sooner I can pay off that college loan debt, the sooner I can quit my 9-to-5 and help Jeremy here full time. So don't be afraid to go on there and purchase a t-shirt or a hoodie.
Now, one of the reasons why you would want to have multiple accounts on eBay is because of taxes. The government is always trying to get their hands in your money. And so when eBay first came out as a platform, all of that income was considered what's called a casual sale. You have a garage sale at your home. You make $1,000. It's non-taxable. It's what's considered a casual sale. Legislation just went into effect a few years ago to where now if you make $20,000 or do 200 transactions, whichever comes first, then that's taxable income. So if you wanted to stay under those thresholds, and there's thresholds in everything in life, especially financial. If you want to stay under those thresholds, in other words, you don't want to pay taxes, that's a smart thing. Once you get close to 200 sold items or $20,000, whichever comes first, you go, hey, what's going on your account, George? Well, I've only sold 5 items. Hey, why don't we sell on your account and then we can stay under that threshold in tax time? Perfect. All right. That would be a reason why to have multiple accounts. The other reason to have multiple accounts is you may actually have items very specific. For example, I'll have a What the Hales account. What the Hales account may be things that you saw from storage unit auctions that you want to purchase. But I may have a whole nother account focused on just tech and media, brand new items. It's not stuff from storage units. So I may want to market that business in a whole different venue with a whole different customer base. I think it would be very wise then to actually have a different account as well.
Art Bell says, looks like you're taking in more than you sell. Any way of getting rid of items faster?
Okay, Art, taking in more than we sell, absolutely. But you have to think of it this way. If you were taking in more money than you were spending, is that a good thing? Or do you really want a way to spend more of your money? See, you look at it as a potential issue. I look at it as an investment. When the timing is right, the items will get sold the right way. So right now, if I put my money in the bank, or if George puts her money in the bank, what kind of interest is she getting? She's not getting anything. If you put $5,000 in your bank right now, are you going to get any interest whatsoever?
Maybe a little.
Okay, she's going to
gives a little.
She gets a little. My bank,
pennies on the dollar.
I get nothing. So instead of investing $5,000 in my bank account, why not invest $5,000 into items that I can then flip for $50,000? And as it's sitting there, think of it as a stock market. As it's sitting there, it's going to grow and grow. And the older things get, the more collectible they get, the more rare they get, and typically the price goes up. So it is an investment. Is there a way to actually sell more items? Yeah. Hire more people. That's an easy way. As long as I have man hours to sell the items, I can get rid of them, or I can donate them, or I can whatever. But right now, during the winter in Ohio, we're a little bit strapped for the ways that we can get rid of them. We can't do garage sales or barn sales or anything along that line right now. I can send them to auction. I can put them on Craigslist, Facebook, eBay. But really, the way to get rid of it, hire more people.
Colin Medine says, you better get married by an auctioneer. How funny would that be? if and when we get married and it's an auctioneer.
Colin, an auctioneer is licensed, but not licensed to wed. So they are licensed to actually auction.
Icy Prophet says, Jeremy, I'm going to be in Columbus, Ohio for 89 units at auction at the U-Haul locations. Are you guys going?
I saw that one, and I am going to. It's a secret.
Why is it a secret?
Okay, I don't remember what day it is. I have too much going on. Icy Prophets, I saw that one in Columbus. I do anticipate being at that actual auction. So hopefully you and I will cross each other's paths. Icy, go ahead and put down in there what date it was, because I can't remember what actual day it was. But I do anticipate going. George won't be able to go with me because she has her 9 to 5. But if I remember correctly, it was during the week.
If it's next week, maybe I can request the time off.
That would be sweet. That'd be great.
Just not during month-end close for me at work.
All right, I've got another question here from Angela Arnold. Okay. Angela says, I'm a new viewer. I love you both. Since I'm new, question. You said you two have a long-distance relationship. What? Explain. All right, Angela. Very, very simply, she lives in one location. I live in another location. They're an hour apart, therefore it's a long distance relationship. So we spend time together when we can spend time together as our schedules allow. That's pretty much it. Anything you want to add to that, George?
Nope.
All right, next question.
Pamela Chadwell says, my son is telling me I can't make money. What can I tell him to help me convince him?
How about, first of all, shut the Hales up? That will probably not work in your favor. Okay, so whenever somebody comes against you in a negative way, which people are going to, they're going to go, oh, it's a scam, it's a da-da-da, you can't do this. It's never going to help the fight back. So one of the things that I find is most healthy is just say nothing. Just go and do it. And so if you can do it, you prove it, and then what happens, all the naysayers start asking you, are you hiring? And then you go, well, I don't know, maybe. And so just go out and do it, Pamela, and then you can prove to your son that it can be done.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. A lot of people, it's hard to convince someone unless they actually see the money coming in. So
would you say
it's hard for people to take other people's word for it until they actually see it.
Would you say you're a convert? You got converted on it?
I did. When I and a lot of you already know this, but when I first met Jeremy, he told me what he did, and I was just like, that's not something I would ever get into. I can't wait to quit my job and do this full time. No.
I was making fun of her was this a couple nights ago? You were over at the studio taking pictures still at midnight. Yeah. So I was just laughing because I said to her, 5 months ago when we met, I asked you if you would ever consider doing anything like this, and you went, no way. No, I'll support you.
I will support you, but it's not something I would ever get into.
And then she is working to the wee hours of the night. She bought a brand new studio lights, brand new back screens. I mean, she went full 180. She saw the money. I didn't try and convince her.
It's crazy easy money with
she just saw the money,
the stuff that we get in the storage auctions. So hopefully
she drank the Kool-Aid, and I didn't try and convince her. She just saw it.
Do you want to answer?
Yeah, let's answer that one.
Jerry Stallnecker wants to know, Jeremy, why do you hate the Steelers so much?
Jerry, I don't. You need to be able to differentiate between humor and reality. It was a joke.
It was just a joke.
But That being said, Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers had the biggest rivalry in the NFL for so long. It was so deep. It's not like it used to be though. To this day, it's like, I hope you're okay, whatever. We'll beat you. That they wanted death. It was death threats back in the day. I don't care. It was a joke. But if you haven't figured this out yet, one of the things you'll find in all the videos, jokes.
A little bit of sarcasm sprinkled in.
A lot of sarcasm. And most of those joke ideas come from...
Movie Hunter wants to know, have you thought about the pros and cons on opening up a store?
Yes. Next question.
A lot of people do ask us this question about the store.
Okay, so
You've been there, done that, right?
Well, let's dig into the pros and cons of opening a store. Number one, the economic landscape is drastically changing. And so you and I we understand that because look at what we're doing right now. We're online doing a live feed Q&A. Everything is going to online. So if you open up a store, you have a tremendous amount of overhead costs. You have variable costs, and then you have your non-variable costs, which this is this rate, rent is going to be this much, or the mortgage is going to be this much, or do. You have all that overhead. Why have the overhead anymore? Even your major chains are moving in a direction. They have business plans for the next 15, 20 years to move in a direction to get away from the brick and mortar store. They want to be all online. That's the way our economics are going. And if you don't move with it, you're going to be left behind. And so that being said, why open a store and have all that overhead when you could do everything without the overhead, increase your profits? Not only that, if you have a store, now you have man hours that you have to put in the store. Not only that, if you have a store,
and finding reliable
help, and let's take life circumstances as well. Let's be completely transparent, because some of our viewers have probably gone through some Hales of experiences in their life. Divorce. What would divorce do in a person's personal life in regards to their business, or if they start another business, or if what's an ex going to do? They're going to try and take every single penny. Now, there are some out there that aren't like that. That's just not been my experience in life, but that may not be yours either. So why even attempt to do that when it could be completely and totally destroyed and obliterated just by one person? So there are factors both economically, but there are also personal factors in a person's life where they go, that doesn't work, and it doesn't work for these reasons, or the timing may not be right. It doesn't work for these reasons because of this, and this. But overall, I personally, and this is just me right now, and you ask me a year from now, and it could change. Mm-hmm. I personally would not recommend opening a brick and mortar store, because who are you going to sell to? Well, you're going to sell to the locals. Well, then you're going to justify it and go, well, no, I'm going to sell online too. Well, then why not just sell online? And then you don't have all the overhead costs. Your profit margin will go up.
I've heard horror stories as well as people that have attempted to open up a storefront where customers were just stealing from them.
Sure. You have theft.
So
yep.
That's something that is kind of a turnoff. Robin Turagon says, you guys look so good together. You look alike, like peas and carrots. Aww. Which one is the peas and which one is the carrot?
You're the pea.
You're the carrot.
Yeah, you better. Come on, give me a kiss.
Eskimo kisses. Poobot's Crackerbox says, how far would you travel for an auction? Tomorrow,
5.5 hours.
The furthest.
Wait, that's a spoiler. 5.5 hours tomorrow. You got to get up real early in the morning. 5.5 hour trip for the auction.
Randy Neal says, won my first storage locker for $50.
Nice, Randy.
And we'll profit at least $250. Nice. Woo woo.
Do we get 10% of that for teaching you? Is that the 10% finder's fee? Mm-hmm. Congratulations. Thrilled that you're doing it. You're stepping out of your comfort zone, or maybe it is your comfort zone. Absolutely thrilled you're doing it. Hey, I've got a question here. Chris Hammer wants to know, question for you all storage unit hunters. I know we find strange things in the units, but have any of you ever found ashes before? If so, what do you do with them? Now, this is a question we've gotten before.
Quite a bit.
I have never found human remains. Now, I find animal remains, stuffed animals, antlers, things along those lines. One of our subscribers actually answered and said, Mega Gerald 777, like that number, that's a good number there. I give them back to the storage facility. One place I buy at, the lady has a shelf in the back of the office and has over 20 urns. She said nobody ever comes to get them, and the police and the coroner's office won't take them either. And she doesn't know what to do with them, so she just keeps them because she doesn't want to toss them out.
Is it like bad juju if you toss them?
I don't think it's bad juju. It's just ashes and dust at that point. Their soul is gone. So that being said, when people say things like, oh, Jeremy, you need to give those personal items back. You need to da-da-da. Listen, when
even if we attempted to,
they
or have
won't.
The storage
9 out of 10 people would never, ever. You can't find them. First of all, they're in jail. Second of all, and they would never come back. They didn't care enough to pay the bill. So, what makes you think they're going to come back and get it? Their family heritage is in a jar, and they're not coming back to get it. So, this is the typical experience if you're doing this full time.
Peter DiBartolo asked, George, are you going to sell any of the swords? I have sold a lot of the swords on my personal eBay account. I've sold maybe 10 in the month and a half that I've been listing, and I have more that I'll be posting. If you find my eBay, if I don't have a store,
it's eBay
I
ID.
still look at
Yeah,
all
eBay
of my
ID.
IDs?
It's your eBay ID. Go to Hales.
Okay.
Yep.
And they can look at all my items?
Yep.
Okay.
They can see everything.
There's a couple swords up for sale right now. And if you're not sure how to go, find my eBay link. And any of the videos that we upload, if you click on the little description arrow, that'll drop down where it says get your What the Hales merch. If you click on either the t-shirt or the hoodie, it'll take you straight to one of the eBay links, and then you can look at the other things that I have on sale as well.
I'm going to answer another question while you find the next one there. We've got a question from James Robinette. Jeremy, where's a good online storage auction site? Now, you've heard me before say storagetreasures.com. And storagetreasures.com, I actually have videos teaching you how to use that. And I'm going to do some more videos in the future teaching you how to navigate that as well. But that's not the only one. Again, as we talk about business going from a brick and mortar store to everything online, the same is happening with storage units. So the live auction still exists, but they're trying to get away with that and take everything online. Right now, the biggest one is storagetreasures.com. There's also lockerfox.com. So you may want to check that one out as well. Now, lockerfox.com for me, when I get on there, there's nothing within an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. I got to travel 4+ hours to find anything on Lockerfox because it's not as big. There's also storageauctions.com. Again, same thing there, not as big. But if the business in your area is using that instead of Storage Treasures, boom, you got the inside. You know where other people are looking at Storage Treasures. There's also another one. There is bid13.com that I use as well. And again, that one's a little bit bigger, but storagetreasures.com is the biggest one that I use. And I do encourage you to check those things out while you're looking for those storage unit auctions.
What was the one auction site that the auctioneer told us about?
That was gotoauctions.com, but that's a newer one. The creator of auctionzip.com sold auctionzip.com, and then he created gotoauction.com. So at auctionzip.com, when you see an auction posted, whether it's an online auction or if it's a live auction, it costs that business or auctioneer $30 to post that auction. Okay, per day, $30 per post. Now, the owner sold auctionzip.com, created a new one, gotoauction.com, and right now he doesn't charge anything. He's getting them to drink the Kool-Aid. Well, don't pay $30, come over here, it's all free. Eventually he'll be charging them as well, but he's trying to start up the competition to AuctionZip. He started that one, now he's doing another one. So that's another realm or area that you could look into as well.
Thrill of the Hunt says, I've made at least $450 off of Facebook Marketplace. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, Thrill of the Hunt.
Good job. Someone says, try saying toy boat 3 times fast.
Toy boat. Toy boat. Toy boat.
Natalie Ladybug says, try saying toy boat 3 times fast. That's a hard one.
Toy boat. 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 All right, I got another one here from Smokin' Joe. Have you ever calculated what you make per hour, knowing that you work 16-hour days, and is it more than minimum wage? Well, Smokin' Joe, here's one of the things that I'm going to share with you. Never my income. Now, I will share with you what I spend, and I think you can understand why I would not share information in regards to my income, okay? That's pretty personal, pretty private. That being said, have I ever calculated it? I have never calculated it out to figure out what I make per hour. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. This isn't the only thing I do. I'm a landlord. I'm 41 years old. I became a landlord at the age of 21. I've been doing that for 20 years. How do you calculate that per hour? You don't. It's just part of what you do. I have a resale business, and I have all kinds of things going on with the resale business. How do you calculate that per hour? You don't. You just do. You understand that YouTube can take me up to 16 hours a day, and I'm giving a tremendous amount of attention to YouTube. You know where the value is for that for me? I'm a teacher at heart. I always have been. I was actually an adjunct professor. I had students earning their master's degree with me in business. I love teaching. As a matter of fact, I think it's one of my gifts. And so for me, it's not about the money. I've actually never done a job where it's been about the money. It's only been about what satisfaction I get from that job in the aspect of giving. So before I'd worked for nonprofit and executive level nonprofit ministry, I loved it, not because of the income. And I never figured out what I made an hour. I never cared. As a matter of fact, I gave my entire salary back every year because it wasn't about the money. And so I've never been motivated by money. I've always been motivated by impact in people's lives. And so that's why I don't figure out what I make per hour. Now, when you ask, is it more than minimum wage? Well, if teaching you and everybody else and helping you grow and helping you find financial freedom and stewardship, I would consider that well more than minimum wage. I would consider that my time and investment of that time well spent on a daily basis. That's how I view it.
AP wants to know, George, what industry is your 9 to 5? I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. I work in the healthcare industry. I started off when I was 16, and here we are 20 years later. I'm now 36. I have a degree in business. So as soon as I'm done paying off my student loans and that I went to school for towards my business degree, I'll be able to quit my 9 to 5.
And run my business. You're already all up in my business anyway. You got another one there, George? All right, I got one. Only Claire Jones. This is a good question. This is a really good question.
Yeah.
Only Claire Jones says, if you found deeds of a property, like a house in a unit, would that house then belong to you? LOL, just curious. All right, here's the thing, Only Claire Jones. You will find titles, and there is potential of finding deeds as well, because people will store their personal information, whether it's in a safe, whether it's in a filing cabinet. Sometimes you just find it stuffed in clothes in a unit. So if I find a title to a car, does that car belong to me? Now, I'm sure you've purchased a car before, if some of our viewers have never purchased a house before. George, if I sell my car to you, how does it legally become your car? I take the title.
The title has to be signed over to me.
Okay. So you see.
That, yeah.
Go ahead.
That title's worthless unless you sign it over to me.
Okay. Unless I have signed it over and it's been legally notarized, that title is garbage. It still belongs to me as far as the vehicle. Okay. Now a house, you find the deed to a house, same thing. If I own the house, let's say I own multiple properties. Okay. I do share that with you, even though I don't share my income with you. I own multiple properties. Let's say I want to give George one of my properties, and let's just say I keel over tonight in my sleep. Okay, heaven forbid. But I keel over tonight in my sleep, and George goes, "All right, well, I got the deeds." She knows where the deeds are, and she goes, "I got the deeds. All the properties are mine now." George, what do you think?
That's not how it works.
It doesn't work that way. In my particular situation,
the only way that deed would even be worth anything is if him and I met with an attorney to set up a quick
claim deed,
where if in the event if he were to pass away, then it legally becomes mine, but him and I haven't set that up. So in other words, even if I physically had the deed in my hand, they're still no good.
It's in my name. Now, in my particular situation, all the property goes in the Hales trust for my kids. And so even that's my situation. I've created a trust for my children. But if you find a deed, then it's worthless because there has to be a quick claim deed. In other words, I state I no longer have any claim to this property. It's yours. And that's a great question. Do you own it? You don't. It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah. Might as well use it as toilet paper.
Toilet paper. You could use it for toilet paper or kindling in your fire.
Leela Pepper says, ever thought of occasionally bringing a fan in to help unbox online? For that, she would drive all the way from New Mexico. That would be like a 2.5-day trip driving.
Why would you want to, okay. This just boggles my mind that you would want to come from New Mexico
just to unbox.
I can't even fathom why you would want to do that. I mean, I appreciate
it's fun because we make it fun.
Well, there's no doubt it's fun. It's so much
hard
more
work,
fun.
But we make it fun.
It's so much more fun when we're doing it together. And a lot of our subscribers say all the time, Jeremy, your videos are better when George is with you. Well, of course, there's a catalyst. There's synergy. So with synergy, when you put two things together, you get a byproduct that's the value is more than those two things. So solo, I'm just a moron. George, you put George with me, I'm a moron with a super George. And so it's amazing chemistry and synergy that happens there. That would be fun to actually bring in some subscribers. I just can't even wrap my brain around it that anybody would want to actually drive to do that. So at this point, yeah, that would be cool. But
it's definitely something that we can keep in mind in the future as a future video idea.
My encouragement is go buy one. Unbox your own and put it on YouTube and have your fun. Why drive 2.5 days? Although it would be fun to meet some of our subscribers.
Find someone fun to buy a storage unit with and do your unboxing.
But not her. I got the mark. I got the quick claim deed on this one.
John Scala says, I don't know how the heck I got hooked on What the Hales. Keep it up, please.
It's how the Hales you got hooked on What the Hales. But we'll keep it up. If you keep watching, we'll keep it up.
Christina Coleman says, I may try to get into an auction soon. Unfortunately, most people in this area use them because they lost a place to live. I only hope I can start soon.
Go get it.
Yeah. I mean, any time is the right time. So once you feel the time is right, go for it.
They're a lot cheaper right now than they're going to be come tax season, and everybody has their tax return, and they're going to start burning holes in their pocket looking for treasure.
Zine Brune says, have y'all done anything other than storage units like liquidation places or getting stuff from thrift stores? We've done a little bit of thrift store dabbling, buying things from thrift stores.
Anything that you could probably think of, I've probably have done. So thrift stores, absolutely.
But I haven't done that. I haven't experienced that.
It's new
yet.
for George. So liquidations, yes. What I don't like about liquidations is people returned those products for a reason. A lot of times it's for theft. So they'll go into a store, a retail store, they'll get the product, they'll take a piece that they need and then return it. And then that goes up for a liquidation sale. So how are you going to resell that item that's missing a piece or it's broken? So the profit margin goes way down. And so does the treasure hunt. So why I like storage units is because I like the thrill of the hunt. That's it. And so there's profit in it. Sure, there is. But I'm not a person that's motivated by money. Although it's nice to make it. You need it. That's what makes the world go round. But I love the fun of the treasure hunt. That's why I do it. So with liquidations, I already know. I mean,
There's
you can
no
see
mystery
there's no
behind
mystery behind it.
Yeah.
And so with the treasure hunting with the storage units, I know number one, the profit margin is going to be a whole lot more. And then number two, it's the treasure hunt. What could be in there? And again, in regards to proper financial stewardship, I never spend money that I can't afford to lose. Now, I also will say I've never lost money because while it's a risk, I calculate the risk. And what I mean by that is I profile the unit correctly, then I purchase the unit. And some units, they yield a much larger profit than other units. But if you profile correctly, you have a calculated risk and you get the fun of the treasure hunt. They're all going to pay for themselves.
One of the things that I do want to experience is an estate auction.
She just asked yesterday, can we go to an estate auction?
Mm-hmm.
And so there are estate auction websites as well, if you want to look those up and go to estate auctions too. Yep.
Should we share with them what those websites are?
We're
While I
running
find
out of time,
another.
baby.
While I find another.
I got a question right here. We
Okay.
gotta keep running. All right. Rodney says, one question, is international shipping difficult? Maybe an idea for a video. Rodney, international shipping is just as easy as shipping to your next door neighbor. Now, we're going to have people going, why would I want to ship to my next door neighbor? It's just for the illustration purposes. It's just as easy as shipping to the state next to you. What happens when you ship, you get 4 documents. 2 of them are for customs. It will also ask you, is this merchandise? Because they're going to tax, or there's a duty on those. Yeah, I just said it as a duty. There's a duty or a tax on that item going into another country. What I always do for my purchasers is I don't claim it as merchandise. I claim it as a gift. So what I do is I say it's a gift. I say happy birthday. My purchasers love me because they didn't have to pay a duty or a tax on that item. And it's the exact same. You have a few more documents. You sign it, you date it, you put it in a plastic sleeve, and it goes across the world. I've shipped all over the world. I've shipped to kings and queens. How do you think I found her? In Egypt. And princes and princesses. They've told me this is where I'm at. I'm in this country. This is who I am. And so I've shipped all over the world.
Nice. I don't think I knew that about you.
I've told you. It's just your memory is going.
Yeah,
It's
my
okay.
memory is going bad.
It's all right.
Comes with age.
I got you.
Philip Teagan says, Jeremy, you always joke around singing, but I bet you can really sing your tail off.
Do you want to answer that
you
one?
in the church choir?
I did in high school. This is the craziest thing. I never tell this to anybody. Did I tell you this when we met? I lettered in high school.
You did.
I lettered in high school?
I don't think so.
I lettered in high school. In choir. That's what I lettered in.
Draco says, best I could do, stay frosty.
Yeah, we frosty. We're going to get us a Wendy's frosty. You want chocolate or vanilla?
I love chocolate.
Maybe. Vanilla. Our next question.
Oh my gosh, no comment.
Okay.
Thrill of the Hunt said he actually paid for a second month on his big unit and using it as his base, which is
that's great. He's already told us the profit that he's made, and therefore his business model, and it is a business model, no matter how small it is, his business model or his business plan is paying for itself. So that means it's sustainable, or it means it's viable. These are business terms. It means it's sustainable. He can keep going and making money, or it's viable. He's not in debt. He keeps making money and moving forward too. You're giggling over something, George. What are you giggling over?
Someone just timestamped in the future.
Nice.
Monday, 12:45, January 7th, 2019. He just timestamped.
I love it. Are we married then? Did we live stream our wedding?
No. A lot of people are asking when's the wedding and are we ever going to get married? And
she hasn't asked me to marry her yet. Okay, so just between us, she hasn't asked me to marry her yet. But I've written her quite a few love songs and ballads, and she's still I don't know how to crack this nut. And just I don't know, calloused, right? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
No, okay.
Ouija54 says what you guys are doing is rewarding in so many ways. Thank you. We do like to hear that. And it links back to our success story. So if what we're teaching you guys, and obviously I'm still learning every day from Jeremy, and it links back to other people succeeding, then we know we're doing the right thing.
Congratulations, and thank you for the compliments. And by the way, she's not callous. She's the sweetest woman I've ever met in my life. I will openly declare and share with anyone and everyone, after the Hales that I went through before I met her, she is the sweetest, most tender woman I have ever met in my life.
Well, thank you.
She just boggles my mind. And she's hilarious.
I have my moments.
Most moments.
Linda DeLumbo says sarcasm rules. It does. It's one of my favorite languages.
When we met, she told me, if you don't speak sarcasm, this isn't going to work. And that was the first line.
And you didn't even realize that you spoke sarcasm.
And I asked her, I was like, what's sarcasm?
Your own boy Matt.
Baby, I was being sarcastic with you when I said what's sarcasm.
Matt even said,
"That's right.
Does she understand your sarcasm?"
One of my friends said, "Boy, I hope she can deal with your sarcasm." She does all right. You got another one?
Scrolling through.
Should I belt out a song? I do love singing. For that subscriber that said that I bet you can belt it out. I love belting it out. I love to sing.
Yeah, no matter where we are, he's always busting out into song. And that was one of the reasons why I fell in love with him, is because he just busts out into song. He's always and it makes me know that he's in a good mood.
Which is all the time.
Which is pretty much all the time, right? Cheryl Tyner wants to know, have you checked the value off of the Iron Man comics you found? We did a little bit of research on some of the comics. A lot of our subscribers did too, but I personally haven't gone yet.
We haven't had time.
That is something I'm going to do tonight. And then I will be posting it on eBay sometime next week. So my eBay, I just do part-time, not even part-time, like half of part-time, because I work full-time, and whenever I have free time, I will do the research and post, and it's just trying to balance work and life.
We have not had time. We got home from that auction, then we traveled up north to meet with friends. We came home. You went to bed. I stayed up till 1 a.m. responding to YouTubers' comments. And then I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. I crashed. We woke up. We had your family's Christmas today.
Mm-hmm.
So
my family, we're Orthodox, Coptic Orthodox, so we celebrated Christmas today. Our Christmas is actually on the 7th, but we celebrated today.
So we had church, and then we had Christmas with your family and we got home, and as soon as we got home, we were prepping for the Q&A. And as soon as we get off the Q&A, I have another phone meeting all night. And then I'm going to crash, and then I've got a 5.5 hour trip to Pennsylvania. You've got work.
Yeah.
We won't see each other till who knows when next.
Sue M says, what day of the week and time of day do you find is best to end an eBay auction? I have yet to do an eBay auction. That is something that I want to eventually do.
I'm going to answer this one, but this one has to be the last question, okay? All right, in regards to an eBay auction, if you're going to go with an eBay auction instead of a buy it now, you have options in your eBay auction. If I remember correctly, and if I'm not remembering correctly, you can correct me in the comments. You have options, and your top option is 10 days, okay? You always want an eBay auction to run 10 days. And the reason is this, because you want 2 weekends of exposure. You go, why do you want 2 weekends of exposure? Because the majority of the people are on their laptops and on eBay over the weekend. Although eBay analytics will tell you that the majority of people are on their laptop on Monday evening. So what you want to do is actually have your auction end when people are at their computers. Now, people still use sniping tools. If you don't know what a sniping tool is, Google it. I can't get into all that right now because we're running out of time. But you want it to end when people are at their computers, and you want as much exposure as possible. Remember, eBay is your world marketplace. So what I do if I go with an auction, I go a 10-day auction. I pay a little extra for that. I list it Thursday night, roughly around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time. And then it goes through one weekend of exposure. People see it, they're watching, they're bidding, and then it goes through another weekend of exposure. I make my auctions end Sunday night, 9 p.m. The reason is because I've made it end Monday nights, 9 p.m. when eBay says, hey, this is the highest volume. My items sell for more money when they end Sunday night. Now, it may be the category of the items that I'm actually selling versus what other things that eBay actually has the analytics for. But I test it and I try it and I've found the system that works for me. List it Thursday night, 9 p.m. wherever you live in your time zone, and then let it run for 10 days, and then let it end Sunday night, 9 p.m. You will maximize your sales with that approach and that system. That's how I list, and that's when you want it to end, because the majority of the bids in any eBay auction come within the last 5 minutes, and people who are at work on Wednesday at 11 a.m. aren't going to be at their computer bidding on your auction. And if they are, they're going to be unemployed probably, and they won't have the money to pay for your auction. So think through that as you list your auctions. And with that, we have got to wrap things up here, George.
We do. That hour has gone by so quickly. Thank you so much for tuning in.
But we're not done.
We're not done.
I've got to share a couple more success stories. Please,
okay,
please. Here, you share the first one, and I'll share the second one, okay?
Joel Sullivan says, what the Hales? 2019 started a great as a side hustle. I used one of your tips 3 weeks ago. I bought my first storage unit locker for $95. Called the auction house and gave them almost everything and got a check after a 20% commission. $481 later. Thank you so much for the tip.
Quick flip in action.
Yes.
Spent 95, made 481.
That's
Quick
awesome.
flip.
So awesome.
Where in the world can you make such easy money doing nothing except showing up and going, okay, I'll give you a couple bucks. All right, one more success story, and this one's huge. Make sure you're paying attention. This one's from Elise, and Elise actually made another comment before, and we gave her some recommendations, and she did it. And this is what happened.
Yeah, this one almost put me in tears.
Elise said, thank you so much for all the advice. I listened to your answers about the Star Wars collectibles, but I also listened to all the stuff you had to say about money being in the bank, not making money, and realizing selling those items for $800, according to eBay, but posted on Let Go, for $900. And she sold her items. It would make me way more money in a year than $800, and I sold them. I used the money to buy 2 more units with lots of money to spare. And as I was unloading everything into my personal units, I set some of the furniture out to take pics to place on Facebook Marketplace. I was opening Marketplace so I could post, and I saw this beautiful furniture set for free. I paid for the U-Haul for 2 days so I could contact the person who posted and met him to take ownership. He had a whole 3-bedroom apartment filled with furniture. He owns the apartment building and has to store stuff for 30 days. I worked out a deal with him to take everything on the condition that I took the rest to the dump. He offered to pay the dump fees, but saw a possible friendship here. I took 8 couches, 4 lazy boy recliners, 6 beds, numerous dressers, nightstands, coffee tables, bar stools, all for the price of 5 trips of fuel, $32 to go to the dump with a few nasty items. Needless to state, my storage unit was too small. When I called the office number to see about more storage unit space, the lady I talked to said she also had a warehouse space, which would be much cheaper for me renting than a total of 3 more storage units and triple the space. And it has an office and a bathroom, just like my warehouse.
Good deal.
I met her at the address. It looks similar to the storage place, but on the side of each bay door was a regular door. I fell in love with it. This was my step into doing this full time. Signed a year lease, and making things better, I sold her a sectional sofa and a kitchen table and a 5-piece solid oak entertainment set for $4,500.
Wow.
As of yesterday, I am unemployed, and I'm now doing this full time. I'm unemployed too.
Welcome to the club.
Elise, you're part of the unemployed club. And I'm doing this full time, maximizing my potential. U-Haul and I are going to still be friends for a bit, but I'm going to be living the dream. And the only thing holding me back was myself. Thank you. Last week, my goal was to be self-sufficient by the end of this year. And now I'm hustling on my own income. Elise, wow. Congratulations. So with all that being said, if we can do it, You can do it. This has been Jeremy.
And George.
Thanks again for watching. Remember, wait, we got to tell them to subscribe first, right? That's the way it goes. Oh, wait, make sure you subscribe. And remember,
Adventure waits. You got to go find it. Good night, guys. We'll see you next Sunday and during the week.